Hello and welcome to the second video in the English TeamSpeak free tutorial series. My name is Matthias, also known as Mehmeti, and today I want to show you how you can restrict the guest's permissions. For this video you'll require a TeamSpeak free client, which is opened here, a TeamSpeak free server to connect to, and admin privileges on that server, or a token which you can enter under permissions, use privilege key, which will grant you server admin rights. There are two types to restrict the guest's permissions. You can either just revoke their right to join a permanent channel, or we can use join power to just take away the permission to join a certain channel. But before I get started, click on Settings, Options, Applications, and put a tick into the Advanced Permission System checkbox. Click on Apply and OK, and now you should be able to click on Permissions, Server Groups, click on Guests, and you should have a filter up here in which we can type something. To start off with, I'll show you how you can revoke their permission to join any permanent channel. For that, just type in join permanent. And you will see you can go down on this drop box down here and go from show names to show description, and they'll tell you join permanent channels. You can just take away that permission by right clicking on it and clicking remove permission. Now a guest cannot join any permanent channels. Well, there are three types of channels. One is permanent, second one is semi-permanent, and the third one is temporary. Well, a temporary channel is just a channel which is opened as long as there's somebody in that channel. As soon as the last person leaves the channel, it will automatically be deleted. We will not bother about it, but semi-permanent channels, we do not want them to be able to join a semi-permanent channel either. A semi-permanent channel is deleted when the server is shut down. Now a guest cannot join a permanent or a semi-permanent channel. I've got two clients connected to this server. One is a server admin, well, it's called super admin. Just have a look at the first video in the TeamSpeak free tutorial series to see why it's called super admin. And I've got a guest connected to the server as well. I'll create a simple permanent channel just to show you how it works, and I call it test channel. Click on OK. I'll be able to join into that channel, but this guy gets an error. He cannot join a permanent channel, as we can see here. Now there's a second feature which is quite similar to this one. We can take away the guest's permission not just to join a permanent channel, but also to see who's in that channel. For that, click on Permissions, Server Groups, click on Guests, and we'll type in Subscriptions. And we will see Max Channel Subscriptions. It's got the value -1, which means infinitely many, and we'll just put this one to 0. Or right-click on it and remove a permission. Now, if this guy joins this, connects again, there's no tick here, like it is here, if you can see it, which means he cannot subscribe. In other words, subscription status is set to not subscribed. So he cannot see who's in that channel. I can still see where he is, but he can't see where I am. As soon as I grant him another server group, like normal, and I click on this eye, which toggles the subscription for all channels, he can see where I am again. I'll put him into the guest server, into the group guest again, and let him try to resubscribe, and he can't see me anymore. Now, there's a second way to restrict guests' permission to join a channel, which is working with powers. First of all, I'll give him the permission to join channels again. join permanent channels and join semi-permanent channels. And now I'll work with a channel join power. Well, it's grayed out, which means it is set to 0. That's just the same thing. So if I can create a channel, create channel, I call it second test channel, and I can go on permissions and regular needed powers. There is a join power, a needed join power. So if I set this one to 1, I can still connect to it because I am in the group superadmin, which has got 75 join power. This little guy is in the guest group, who has 0 join power. You require 1, so I can join, but he can't. He's got a different error message this time. This time it fails on the join power and not on bchannel join permanent. So he can join permanent channels, but he can't join this particular one. He can join the test channel now, because he's allowed to join permanent channels and there's no restriction on that channel. If we have different server groups, this way is a lot more accurate, because you can allow certain server groups to join certain channels. I can create like a server admin only channel, and I could create a channel which would be for members only. But it is a bit more complicated, to be fair, because you have to deal with numbers rather than just ticking it. But for each server group, you can put a different value into this box. One thing I want to clarify: if you have 1 channel join power and you require 1 channel join power, you will be allowed to join it. This value has to be greater than or equal to this one, not strictly greater than. So let's make an example. I've got a channel which is members only, and I'll create a channel which is admins only. Now, if I want to allow members to join the channel, I'll go on the normal group and check what join power they have. They have 50. So I'll set the required join power to 50. For admins, I need to set it to something above 50, but below or equal to 75. I'll just set it to 75. It'll do. Right, now I'll be able to join both of them. This guy is in the guest group. He can't join either of them. If I grant him normal, he'll be able to join the members only, but not the admins only. I hope this example makes it quite clear. There are many more permissions for which you can do exactly the same. For instance, the private message power. The private text message power is the power you have to send someone a private text message. So if you double click on this one, or right click and click open text chat, you can send him a message. So now I've got a message from him. If you do not want a guest to be able to send a message to a server admin, just go on permissions, server groups, and check for your server admin group the needed private text message power. Let's say we set this to 1. Now a guest has 0 private text message power. First of all, I have to revoke his normal group permissions, of course, and now he's in the guest group again. He has 0 power to send me a private text message, but he requires 1. So if I say hello again, it says insufficient client permissions, and it says you do not have sufficient private text message power. So again, now you have 1 required private text message power, so a guest will not be able to talk to you. A member would be able to talk to you, and a server admin would be able to talk to you. You can do exactly the same for poke powers, kick powers, ban powers, move powers, and many, many more. This is just an example, but you should be able to apply this knowledge to any of these. Now, of course, you might ask, okay, the guest can't join this channel anymore. However, if the guest can't join the members only channel, I want members to be able to move guests into members only channels. That's not a problem. All we have to do is we go on server groups again, click on our member group called normal, and type in move. The client move power is the power a client has to just switch someone from one channel to a different channel. A guest only requires 25 power, so we have to grant our normal group at least 25 power. If we grant him 25, he'll be able to switch guests and no one else. If we give him 50, he'll be able to switch guests and other members, but not server admins. If we give him 75, he'll be able to switch anyone. I hope that makes it quite clear. So I'll give him 25. And now, if I connect with a third identity, just give me a second please. I'm sorry about that. Now we've got a third user and our guest. I'll give our guest normal. So now he can join to our members only, and he can switch this guy through these channels. However, he cannot switch it into the admins only. Now he gets the join power, an error that he does not have sufficient join power because he can't join the channel himself. There is one last thing I want to mention on restricting access to a channel. If you right click on a channel, go on edit channel, click on advanced, you can set a limit of clients, so some sort of slot limit to a certain channel. For instance, if you press 2 and you join and you switch him here, you'll see that this goes red, which means that the current client, that the client limit has been reached. A third user, even if this third user had sufficient power to join this channel, would not be able to join this channel anymore. There is a way to skip this limit, however, only admins have that permission. So, if you want to have some sort of private room where you can just talk to one guy, maybe some sort of support channel, you can just set the limit to 2 clients. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please show me appreciation by giving me thumbs up. If you really liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll give my best to make some more videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!